Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, 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 and here we are. Let's take a look. What do we have? What do we have? All right, so our card for tonight is the Art card. This is all about completion, realization, economy, being economic, management, and managing. All right, sounds like fun. No, it does. As a Virgo, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this one in the middle first. Let's just make sure. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's how it is. Okay. So we have, it looks like a little person holding a bag on their back there, and they are walking this way, over this way. And to me, this says, well, you're kind of filling your bag with resources. You are taking control of your life. But I think, and we have the head kind of bowed here, this has been a struggle at times. Okay, you've put your all into work, and sometimes that has paid off, sometimes it has not paid off. Sometimes, you know, you have really had to scrape by. Other times, like now, I believe you have an extra little something. Okay, and I think that you are really in a place where you are thinking about the future. You are quietly planning, putting a little bit away. You are maybe creating a crisis plan, maybe an exit plan of some kind. You have goals and you are meeting them. And you are, you know, thinking about the things that can happen in life that we just, you know, don't necessarily want to consider, but they happen. Maybe something has gone on around you recently that has put you in this kind of state of mind of, okay, I have to be ready. You know, if this or this happens, I need to, you know what I have to do. If, you know, something were to happen to you, you want there to be a clear plan, funding for that, all that kind of stuff. So I think that this kind of, you know, this is that kind of management and of that financial aspect for sure. But I also think that this is really applicable just to all kinds of circumstances that can arise. I mean, if there's some kind of, you know, disaster, natural disaster, accident, some kind of separation, whatever it is, sometimes we just don't think about that stuff, and that's, you know, kind of how we are as humans. We don't want to consider the worst possible thing, but you know, if we at least have a rough idea of what we need to do, then it hopefully won't be as shocking and devastating, because, you know, when you are in the thick of something big happening, it's hard to even know, you know, your left hand from your right hand, let alone these more complex issues that arise. So I think, you know, everybody should be planning where we can, you know, as best we can. Sometimes it's just, you know, we're living check to check, of course, barely scraping by and surviving our days. But when we come to a place where, and it looks like this is maybe where you're at right now, things are going pretty well. And you have that ability to kind of maybe squirrel a few coins away, okay? And, you know, I think that's not a terrible thing to do. Now, I am looking here, we have a beautiful, it looks like a bison, and then below it we have two people kind of standing together here. Now, I think that these two signs together, it almost reminds me of kind of, you know, the celestial union, maybe a wedding of some kind of coming together, kind of putting your lives into, you know, parallel paths of in some way, in some fashion, okay? But the energy we have up here is interesting. It is kind of that, well, the sacred bison, American bison, or it was, you know, we kind of call the buffalo, right? This is an animal that is kind of slow to moving, very thoughtful about how it goes about its any of its movements, right? They use a lot of calories to even just, you know, move a little bit. So they have to kind of be really good at retaining their energy. And so there's a lot of slow movements, being contemplative, but when pushed, not unlike any other kind of large animals, one that I find very interesting that's super vicious is the hippo. You don't usually think of a hippo as being kind of such a monster, but I mean, you get into anywhere near the water and they're upset, they will charge and just, you know, lay everything to waste. So the bison is not unlike this. And actually, I will mention that the bison is my totem animal. So kind of, I kind of actually have this disposition myself, kind of slow moving until pushed, right? Or confronted in a way that makes you feel unsafe, or things kind of become dislodged, right? And of course, if you mess with their family, that's the big thing. These are, you know, very close-knit little groups of animals, and if you get near their babies or, you know, put any of them at risk, they are going to take up for one another. And so I feel like you are definitely in this place where, you know, I mean, I imagine that you are also very loyal to your family, devoted to your family. And this can be your family of origin, your chosen family, a family you have created, a friends group, whatever you consider to be your family, of course. But I feel that you are really in a place of this being very solid. Okay, this is kind of in this real emotional zone here on the side of the bowl. And so I feel that, you know, whatever's going on with this planning, with feeling very, very, almost, I think, sentimental / vigilant. So I wonder if there has been some kind of loss, if there's been a fracture within the family, maybe not with your direct family unit, but kind of in the greater family, maybe a separation, a divorce, some kind of issue coming up that is making you kind of really look at the things that you have, your blessings, and thinking, I really need to prepare for anything that might you know, come about. I want to be able to take care of my loved ones. I want to be able to protect them and yourself. Okay. So, this seems like, you know, definitely that protector energy. Okay. Now, let's see what we have here. Now we have this kind of interesting character here, almost kind of dancing, holding this Y. It reminds me of some kind of almost like a divining rod, possibly. But we have, it looks like a trickster, maybe some kind of person in your life that is somehow related to a fire sign or fire sign energy. Very passionate, emotional, intelligent, and you know, kind of with a sharp tongue, I would say, but burning bright, right? And I think with this divining rod, that makes me think that they are probably a very intuitive person, maybe even clairvoyant. And I think that this is somebody beloved to you. They're coming up in this physical realm, but also in the emotional realm. They almost have kind of their foot up in there. And I think that this is somebody who has kind of really come to your aid recently. It seems like we have this dove here who is kind of flying towards this being. And I think that this relationship, though maybe from the outside seems like it would be chaotic, like maybe you are kind of dissimilar, almost like opposites. When you come together, you really complement one another. And I feel like with this dove symbol, there is really this sense of peace, love, unity, and you have great faith in one another. Okay, I feel like this is somebody you trust with your life, right? If you had a big problem, something came up, you would go to them. They would be one of the first people that you would entrust with whatever it is, right? And so I feel like this relationship has been prominent. It's one of the bigger signs here, this little scenario in these symbols. It's one of the larger. So it seems like it is definitely a focus. Okay, so I think that, you know, having somebody like this in your life is such a beautiful blessing, a privilege, and should, you know, be protected. This is the kind of relationship you really protect and take care of. And I think that's not, you know, you already know that. This is easy for you. This is somebody who you enjoy. And I think that they just have such interesting insights about life. With these kind of more trickstery looking kinds of characters, deities, archetypes, it's not that they are tricking you so much as they exist in ways that seem so outside of our perception, our regular perception, our worldview. So they can seem like they pass through different realms of reason. And I think that having people like that in our life is so important because we can become very stuck, dogmatic, and kind of looking for like almost like a fixed state of, you know, kind of philosophical safety, security. Like this is the truth, and this is where I'm gonna kind of land, and I don't need to know anything else. And you know, but when you have people like this in your life, they help dislodge you. They help you come along on a, you know, kind of a journey. You get to learn things, see things, experience different lifestyles, beliefs, you know, just activities that you maybe don't even know about. You've never even heard of that. But they open your world up, definitely. And this is important. It keeps us from becoming stuck and atrophying. There's nothing that will get you feeling older quicker than having no kind of mental, emotional, spiritual movement in your life, right? We have to kind of stay moving, flexible, learning, that ever student. I know it kind of gets annoying. I talk about every day we should be trying to learn something new. Well, when we have somebody like this in our life, it's not hard, right? They make going on those journeys a lot of fun. All right, let's see. We have kind of this silly looking goat down here. And it looks like it has like the floppy ears, and it's kind of it's not exactly the goat that you think of with the prominent beard and, you know, kind of real stately and interesting look. This is kind of the more goofy looking, definitely more of a silly looking goat. And I think that in this situation, really what comes to mind for me is really just not taking ourselves too seriously all the time. I know we can get into these places where we think, okay, I have to get it together. I have to have a plan. I need to know, like, where's my life going? You know, what is the way? I have to stick to it, be vigilant. Yeah, all of that stuff is good. But we also need to be able to laugh at ourselves, to laugh at life, to, you know, look at the absurdity in things and try not to get too worked up or worried. Another thing that gets you to that old age quick is too much stress, taking everything too seriously. So, you know, this is a good sign of go out, do something fun, watch a funny movie. If you like comedy, maybe go to a comedy thing, watch some comedy online, whatever it is. That's one of my big cures. When I'm having a bad day or I'm feeling like, you know, I'm just thinking about, you know, schedules and meals and cleaning and working and, you know, kid things, whatever. I have to watch something funny, you know, and there's plenty of that, especially here on YouTube. There are a lot of channels, a lot of podcasts to watch. So that's always, you know, really good medicine is laughing. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Maybe we'll go look over here. We have a little fish. Okay, and we have, if we turn this over, we have that one of those little illuminating candles. So I really think that coming into this place of, you know, balance, of kind of being proactive in your lives, doing some of the like bureaucratic, administrative kinds of things, mixed with having that fire sign person, really enjoying the pleasures of knowing somebody who is so passionate about life, that really rubs off on you. And also just, you know, the silliness of it all. All of these things kind of balance each other out. And I think that this opens you up to some real revelations about how you want to go forward with things. And then with the fish, it makes me think there is something, you know, to be caught coming. There is some kind of financial something, maybe some kind of opportunity to make some money. Maybe, you know, you find a $20 bill on the street. I don't know, but there's some kind of happy little abundance swimming your way pretty soon here. Okay. Now I want to do this little thing. I'm trying it out. We're trying it out for this cycle. I got these little cards here, and they are from this collection. It is called The Gratitude, A Little Deck of Appreciation by Lorraine Anderson. And I just got these in the mail 2 days ago. And what they are just kind of little affirmation gratitude cards. So I'm just going to kind of break this in the middle, see what we have. Ooh, nice. It looks like a little moth or maybe a butterfly, kind of a moth, right? Yeah, that's pretty. So we'll turn it over and see what it has to say. If I can get this thing apart. Okay, there we go. Everything has value. Nothing is too small to be appreciated. Okay, there we go. I love that. You know, and I think that this really, this is about this energy we're talking about, having this fire person in your life, having this silliness, this absurdity. Really, you know, the most beautiful things in our life are so unexpected. They're usually the tiny little details, the things that, you know, we don't focus on, in the subtle, the impressions, the feelings, the lingering kind of, you know, nostalgia. You know, that's why, you know, sometimes you eat a piece of fruit and you think, oh, that tastes like my childhood. It tastes like a summer I spent at my grandparents, you know, the tomatoes they were growing, or, you know, something like this. So I think it's really appreciating those little things in life. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. It's a very accessible way to find happiness in our everyday life. And that is so important. Actually, that is probably the most important thing that we can do for ourselves, is being open and receptive to, you know, finding those little bits of happiness. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and thank you for spending this time with me, Libra. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And we know the algorithm kind of decides how things go for all of our channels. So we like to make it happy. And how do we do that? We give it engagement. So any kind of like liking the videos, sharing the videos on other forms of social media, watching the readings from the beginning to the end, watching all of your placements or all of the videos if you want. That's a good way to support the channel as well. Of course, you don't have to, but I like to bring this up so you know. These are the things that kind of, you know, help us grow. Other than that, if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell when you do, and that will let you know when the next videos come out. You can watch all of your placements, or, you know, do some cross-watching. That's when you watch the readings for people that you care about, your loved ones, your kids, your spouse, your crush, your significant other, whoever. What's the other thing? I always forget this last one, and that is leaving comments. And that's actually maybe one of my favorite ones, because I get to know the people who are watching my readings, and I really honestly have continued doing these readings because of the feedback I get, the loving messages. Some of you are so generous. You share your private stories, your private thoughts, you know, the things that are moving to you, some of your hurts, and truly, it touches my heart every time. So, you know, please keep commenting, or if you feel feel so moved to comment, please do. Some of you have been around since the channel started, and I feel like you're family now. So, you know, and others, I'm getting to know you, and we really are building a community here. And I like to mention as well, watching you support each other in the comments makes me so happy. really, honestly, seeing you give each other advice, give each other, you know, a lot of love, praying for one another, uplifting each other, really, you know, we always talk about the bad things on the internet. When you see a place where people are so kind to one another, it really is so moving. Okay. All right. I want to thank you, and we will talk again in just a few days.